Talk about the fight, because as you said, I mean, it turned into a brawl. I mean,
Yeah.
After that kind of time away, we thought maybe you'd come in, kind of settle in a little bit, get a rhythm. Instead, it was like just right at it.
Well, I mean, if a guy comes at you, it's really hard to back down and to like really, you know, pull back and like, all right, it's just more like, all right, dude, this guy's coming at me. Let's kind of tone it down a little bit by not like pulling back, but like hitting him a couple times. And he came out hard, and you really can't keep that type of pace. It was even tough for me to even try to keep up. I mean that's a crazy pace, And I got a little tired, but I had a good camp. Great sparring, and I was prepared to pull through it, to dig deep.
How did your body respond to the weight cut and also having those extra hours to rehydrate ahead of time?
You know what? I haven't been under 150 since my junior year in high school, so it was on the back of my head all camp, like, can I make this? And a little stressful, but I was really, really disciplined. Every meal was on point, and of course the last couple it was kind of tough. Of course, just like let's get these last 2.8 off. It was rough, and but I liked how it was early. You're on weight, just go jump on a scale, get it over with, and then drink up, instead of being on early and then having to wait through everybody else, until like 4 o'clock, and you're just holding it.
Did you feel that was a problem in the past where the fight almost became the weight cut and it would have a drastic impact on the fight?
Well, it never really had, it was just annoying. It was just like, all right, I'm going to this place where, I have to act cordial to people, and I have to, flex, and I'm dying, dehydrated. Let's just get it done, and then give, opportunity to flex and to talk to people and to kind of be human with a little bit of fluids in me.
How did your body feel out there in the cage tonight with the weight cut?
It didn't feel bad. Again, it was hard to tell just because it was a crazy pace. He was coming at me all different, just swinging them, and but I was prepared to pull through. I definitely feel a lot quicker, a lot more agile, strong still. It's good weight.
So you're going to be here to stay?
Yeah, I'll be here to stay. Again, I'm pretty much all the way through camp. The last 2 years, I've been averaging about 163. And that's a little bit too small to be going 155. If I do choose to go up, all right, I'm gonna have to hit the, put on a little bit of weight, and so.
Was there any added
for a while?
Just coming into this fight with the time away, with the 4 losses, were you kind of telling yourself it's now or never? If there was a loss here, this might be it for me.
Yeah, it all came down to, and for the last 3 years, or at the end of every camp, it was always a kind of a new camp, aka then I would go to Power MMA, and then jumping around, and it's hard to be doing that and expect to know a camp is good. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of a camp, it's like you're just kind of guessing, like, all right, well, let's try this. So it's hard to like go into scrap, like, all right, I know I'm prepared, to do it. And like a lot of, if I get asked like, hey, do you get kind of nervous And I tell them if I'm not prepared, then of course I get a little bit of the nerves, and that's how all the camps have kind of been. It's just, it's new. I don't really know if it's good or not. Like, it's all just kind of like rolling the dice. And I got the last camp, and I had some good people who were open to a lot of stuff that I kind of chose. Like, hey, let's do this, this, and this. And over time you kind of understand like what you kind of need to do.
Great.
I mean, go ahead.
You talked about how much the camp has kind of revitalized you, and
Yeah.
how much you felt more settled. Talk about what the difference really was in this camp compared to others that gave you that feeling.
Just having input. I'm 37, and I've been doing it since I was about 3 years old, like literally competing, cutting, and by the time, now if I don't know how to train, then I need to quit anyways. But I had good coaches who understood that and would kind of ask me, like, how about this? Well, no, I don't really like this. Instead of me just kind of like, all right, let's do it. Okay, yeah. Hey, it's all up to you, coach. But they would kind of interact, and we kind of built a really good camp to where I could be confident, I could be comfortable, and I could tell them, hey, today, I'm not going to spar. Instead of like, you got to get in there, man. You got to get tougher. They're just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do a little pad work. All right.
It's interesting because obviously a lot of people are on the internet saying, oh, Gray should retire, why is he still around, why is he going to featherweight of all places after everything that happened to him at lightweight? I'm just wondering, where did you get sort of the belief system from when you sort of go online? There's so much negativity around there, and so many people are saying, oh, he should retire, he shouldn't be around, this is the wrong move. How do you sort of block that out? And how do you sort of go into the gym every day and find that belief to know, hey, this is the right decision, when so many people are saying it might not be?
Well, this is all news to me, man. Maybe I should retire. No, you hear it all, and ultimately, an athlete has just kind of a time period, and I'm pretty honest about stuff. I'm pretty honest about, and I'm a critic too, of me, and I've never had a time to where it's like, what, I did awesome that fight, and it could have been a good one, but I'm a critic. But I also know who I am, and I still have a lot more to give. And I really haven't even put out the best me yet at all, and again, I'm just piecing it together. It's taken a lot of time, but it's going to pay off, and if it doesn't, then I'll be pissed. But
being in this new division, though, is there anyone you're kind of looking at? You mentioned your age, you mentioned your experience and everything like that. Is big fight sort of what you're looking at? Name guys, as far as opponents go. Your opponents tonight not too well known. Are you kind of looking for those bigger fights, going forward in your career?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm a guy who I'm in this to become, the top dog, and I would love to have the Edgar bout again. I would love to get in there and just, keep going up against, all the top guys. Again, what did I kind of take off of switching camps, like doing all of that stuff and still going up against a top guy and not really knowing how the camp is going to go. It's always pretty tough against a guy who's has his camp all squared away. It goes, each of the times, it's like, all right, I believe in it. Whereas me, it's kind of like, all right, well, hopefully this one is good. But I'm piecing it all together, and I really did have a good camp to where I could pull off of that, and like, hey, you've been here in camp, you kind of, all the sparring and stuff, you can dig deep, You know, this is a tough scrap, but you can dig deep. It's all there.
When would you like to fight again? Do you sort of have that planned out? I know you're fresh off the victory. You don't want to put you on the spot.
No,
here.
I'd like to be on the Cleveland card,
Okay.
September 10th. You know, that'd be a pretty good card to be on. You know, I grew up there a little bit. Of course, I took state championship there. No big deal. But yeah, that's a good crowd. That's a good card to be on, and we'll check what happens.
Curious, you mentioned Frankie Edgar. I think your career will always sort of be linked to him.
Yeah.
He's fighting tomorrow for the interim title, and I'm wondering if you had a moment when you saw that and used that as motivation, because obviously your careers have gone in a bit of different directions since your
100%,
last
yeah.
fight against him,
Yeah.
and you're like, look where he is. I could still be there. I was this close to beating him.
Yeah.
Did you use that at all? The fact that you were fighting on an undercard the night before him fighting for the
Yeah.
belt, did that ever come
Yeah.
into your mindset?
Oh, definitely. You know, he has done a great job. He's just gotten better, and you know, again, it's a type of guy that has his camp, has his all of it down, and he's just been able to kind of produce it at each and every, to where, you know, I've kind of been jumping around here and all over the place, and you know, he's been really good, you know, and it'd be nice to get back up to that, you know, and just get after it again.
In terms of obviously winning this fight, just talk about emotion, your emotion to us, because you bet on yourself. You knew this was going to work out.
Yeah.
Other people were saying, "Don't do it. This isn't a good
Yeah.
idea." How did you feel when it finally sunk in that, hey, all this paid off? I told everybody this was going to work.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Did you have a special moment with your training camp in the back? Did you have a special moment with your family over the phone? What happened right after that? What went through your mind?
Yeah. You know, it's always been there though. It's always like, I'm gonna go get the win. I'm gonna do this. You know, of course, I got clipped a couple times by a couple different people, obviously. But you know, I always plan on it. You know, I plan on coming out of there. Great Maynard. He won, but it didn't happen. But about halfway through camp, I kind of knew it was a good camp. I was doing all the stuff, you know, I had to do, and just planned on it. You know, it was like, all right, you put in the work, you did a good job, you're gonna get the win. Not like, well, I hope this worked out. I hope I get the win. It was just planned on it.
And if this didn't work out, would you have planned to stay in the division, or do you think that would have been your last fight?
Didn't cross my mind, but you know, if it didn't, then I will, you know, I'd probably have to sit back and just kind of check where I'm going to go, because you know, I'm a competitor. I hate to lose, and if I'm not good at a sport, then, you know, it's kind of about time to move on. But you know, I always had it in me, and you know, just had to prove it.
Thanks very much, guys.
Yep.
Go another fight.